Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Baltimore. Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Buehler. And we've got a little bit of a sparse feature match area because there were some draws, but we've got a bang up
this one's
match
not bad.
here. This one's ridiculous.
We'll
Ben Stark versus Jon Finkel. Both players at 11 and 2.
Yep.
Is this effectively a win-in or just an elimination match?
It's an elimination match.
Okay.
These guys are in pod 2. Pod 2, all the players were 10 and 2, so the winner of the pod is going to be 13 and 2 and through. I mean, it's a win, and look at the standings and think you can draw, but you can't.
Right. All right, so Warname Aspirant, though, on turn 2 for Finkel signifies that he's looking to be a little bit more assertive here, and Ben Stark has to decide who's going to be the aggressor. And he's just like, you know what, I'm blocking. So down goes, looks like maybe a Canyon Lurkers for the trade, and a decent follow-up here, though, by Finkel. It's an Alpine Grizzly.
If Reed Duke wins his match, by the way, Reed Duke plays the winner of this for a top 8 spot.
I'm guessing that will be on camera.
Yeah, that requires Reed to win. I don't care who wins this one. They'll be featured versus Reed next round.
Right.
In the win and in.
And there's the old face-up Misfire Weaver, which signals that he's probably looking to trade it. And he does. So Ben Stark has said, well, I'm the control player here. I'm going to kind of try to run you out of threats. But Jon Finkel has had a 2-3-4 start. He's definitely got some threats going.
So far, Ben hasn't taken damage, though.
Right. He's at a safe 22 now. And he must have a lot of confidence in his late game. He's going to play another morph, so the damage will start rolling in a little bit here.
Could be a Monastery Flock.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It totally could.
Does not appear to be a Monastery Flock.
All right, so 4 damage there from Ben, drops him down to 18. Morph is the follow-up play here for Finkel. And Ben, pretty happy to just keep hitting his land drops. He's got a Leaping Master in his hand. He's going to attack with his morph. That's not going to get blocked by the other morph.
Yeah, not with 5 mana. It's out of the way.
Way too risky. And here's a second morph for Ben Stark to join the team. But wait, there's more. Leaping Master as well. So Ben Stark, trying to kind of stem the bleeding early and then turn it around in the middle stage of the game. And he's made a nice play towards that here. Playing 2 creatures in 1 turn. That can get him way ahead.
John's got 3 colors now. His morph is a lot more threatening all of a sudden. I guess the 6th land also could have been Willy Loxodon.
Yeah, now it could be a Willy Loxodon or a Snowhorn Rider. Yeah, that was pretty significant.
Ben fully aware of all the implications of that island coming down. Yeah, he's just going to take.
Bang, it is Snowhorn Rider. Wow.
Just 9.
Just half your life total, Ben Stark. No big deal. Well, Ben knew that he was the control player here, and now he is firmly in that seat and also back on his heels a bit here, facing down just 2 big monsters from Finkel.
I thought I saw Crippling Chill in Ben's hand.
I did too.
I think maybe he was hoping that Crippling Chill might buy him enough time that he could actually race with his 6 power worth of dorks.
And now he's kind of making an adjustment to that line because it feels like that's not the case.
Yeah.
Okay, he does get to attack here for 6. Not a bad hit down. Finkel down to 12. He might still be on that line, Randy.
Yeah, it looks like it.
He might just say, look, I can take 4, not die to Aerostorm here.
Right.
And lock down your Snowhorn Rider for, basically 2 turn cycles. Ooh, there's a nice finisher, though, for Jon Finkel.
What did he draw?
He drew a Mystic of the Hidden Way. And so this actually makes Ben's lines look better, right? I mean, now all of a sudden he's in a situation where he's going to be forced to race anyway. And Ben's a turn ahead of it by kind of initiating a race himself. So here comes Summit Prowler all by its lonesome. And that is going to hit, so Stark falls down to 6.
Now what, face up Mystic?
Could
Setting
be.
up for Aerostorm next turn? Does he have an Aerostorm?
I don't know if he has it in his hand. This is the deck that wants an Aerostorm.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got multiple plays. War Name Aspirant, but he needs to get a dice on that.
I don't think he had the Aerostorm. I think I missed. I saw the War Name, the flash of red from the War Name.
Sure. Nevertheless, it is a card that Ben Stark is going to keep in his head. What are these two morphs for Ben? That's the question
Been
here.
there for a while.
Maybe it's 1,000 Winds.
That'd be pretty good here.
You know what? He does have 1,000 Winds in his deck.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at his list right here. Look at that.
Wow.
Maybe it is 1,000 Winds, because now he's actually got 7 untapped mana. Mm-hmm. Wow, bouncing those two creatures back?
Well, Snowhorn's back in untap anyway.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You might wait a turn or
Yeah.
do it in the middle of the combat. If he's got 1,000 Winds, yeah, now his race plan makes a lot more sense, right?
Wow. Yeah, right. So that actually fits in line on multiple levels here. The awkward part, of course, when you're playing against a great player, even if you're a great player yourself, is how do you sell that I don't have 1,000 Winds, you know?
Well, Jon doesn't have the benefit of the deck list the way we do.
It's true.
How many morphs does he even have? Not many. We've already seen the Lurkers and the...
Wow. You know who's on the Aerostorm plan? It's actually Ben. He's got 4.
What?
Yeah. Running all of them.
Wow, he's got a Flying Crane technique in this deck too? This deck looks great. Couple of morphs for Jon.
A pair of morphs for Jon, and is Jon just going to pass a turn back? I mean, even if it's not 1,000 Winds, it's not tempting to attack into this here. All right, so there's Witness of the Ages. So stage 1 of trying to get some big ground force going here. But Witness of the Ages doesn't look great here, as Jon's just got all types of options. He could trade or just block it. There's 2 morphs down there for Finkel. Is Finkel trying to set up for one big hit here?
Yes.
Because if that's the case, and that is 1,000 Winds, oh my goodness.
I mean, you go wide, he's got 6 creatures now. Your opponent's on 6. He's empty-handed. Don't you just, right-click attack all?
All right, so there's that one, and he's going to attack the big boy.
Being a little more patient than maybe we would have. Definitely figures Ben's got a couple cards in his hand. He's got 7 untapped mana. 1,000 Winds. Wow.
It is 1,000 Winds.
I feel like Jon smelled that out a little bit.
He might have. It's still not good for him, though, even knowing it's coming. Sometimes you figure out your opponent has Dune Blast, but it still beats you. And that might be the case with 1,000 Winds here. Jon has a nice little recovery plan. He gets to replay his morph. His Mystic of the Hidden Way. Remember, Ben's still down on 6 here, but now all of a sudden, he's got a 5/6 flyer.
Right. But Jon's got 12 life to work with. He can take a hit. Block with Sagu Archer.
Why is that dice on there? That's signifying it's a second morph?
It's the order that it came into play, yeah.
Okay. Gotta be careful with that.
That's the one that's probably
as long as he
Mystic.
Right. It looks a little weird for us in coverage here, though, because it looks just the same as the War Name Aspirant. It's just got 2 counters on it. In fact, has none.
Yeah, some people have morph tokens with giant numbers on them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, you are obliged to keep clear the order in which you played your morphs.
Right.
Winner of this match plays a win-and-in next round against the winner of Reed Duke's match.
Finkel's at a comfy 12 here, so he doesn't have to worry about Aerostorm on the other side of the battlefield either here. As 1,000 Wind hits the red zone. He could chump with Sagu Archer if he wanted, but I don't think he has too much to worry about here.
I mean, land, Aerostorm, Arc Lightning.
Yes, that is possible. Also, something like no blocks, and he goes like, no, yeah, what you said.
It doesn't look like a Trumpet Blast deck.
No, it doesn't. Witness of the Ages doesn't usually make the cut, but it's possible.
Jon's going to go ahead and chump block.
I guess he figures that's the best he's going to get out of that Sagu Archer.
I mean, what Jon really wants is, he wants to buy himself time for 2 Mystic of the Hidden Way attacks. He figures he plowed through the 1,000 wins. Oof.
Wow.
Storm on the morph.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Mystic for you. Makes
Wow.
sense.
And it's also nice for Ben because he got to use up the mana from the War Shrieker in a pretty efficient way and keep a
Right,
nice
now
little
he's
blocker.
got a 3/3, a 4/4. Jon doesn't appear to have any great attacks.
Do we know what Jon's morph is?
No, there's a Snowhorn Rider in Jon's hand.
Right, and we knew the Mystic because we saw him recast it after it got bounced.
Well,
with
we knew it was
1,000
Mystic
wins.
or Snowhorn.
Yeah, I
Ben
actually,
was
I
okay
actually
either
saw
way.
him, but yeah.
Fair enough. I assumed it was Mystic
Yeah.
without seeing it.
Sure. So that means that we don't know what that other morph is.
I agree. I don't think we
Necessarily.
know what that morph is. I mean, Ben's maneuvered this board state pretty nicely.
Yeah, I like where he's at
essentially
here.
got a 2-turn clock in the air and a couple of guys on defense that can, at worst case, trade. I mean, if that's a Snowhorn Rider face down, Jon's in a lot better shape. Oh, yeah, I don't think we know what it is. All right, well, he's going on offense. The 4/3 Prowler and the Unknown Morph.
I think if you're Ben, you have to assume it could be a Woolly Loxodon, which would probably be the worst case, but you probably assume it's a Snowhorn Rider or something similar to that. 4/5, 5/5.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, he's lining up a double block with Leaping Master?
Does look like it. That does take a.
A chump block with Leaping Master.
Well, or it's a trade right now.
Sure.
It's going to force Jon to do something.
Says, yeah, flip that morph, show me something, which also makes it harder for Jon to play the Snowhorn Rider out of his hand.
Totally, especially if it's a Loxodon, which it looks like it is.
Okay. Woolly Loxodon, so now Jon can't even play the Snowhorn face down.
Wow. Yeah,
he has a
because
land.
he does, but it's tapped.
Aha.
But
It's a pretty nice little play from Ben.
it was pretty nice from Ben, but it is a little bit of an awkward spot for him because now he's still facing down a lethal Woolly Loxodon. Oh, wait, did he just draw a suspension field?
He did.
Oh, hello, friend. I think he's got an extra crippling chill in his
Yeah.
hand, too, so this actually looks quite good for Ben. If he has both of those cards, he can effectively neutralize Jon's board entirely and actually just hit him for 10 here.
Right.
I think he's got a Warden of the Eye as well.
Seems like a pretty good line. Yeah, you may as well offer him, if you want to chump block, I'll hold on to my crippling chill.
Yeah, and it is actually reasonable for Jon to consider it here because he doesn't want to die to Aerostorm.
Right, and he's also dead to 1,000 wins next turn if
And he
doesn't
does chump block.
Yeah.
Wow, so that I like that by Ben. Might as
Smart
well let
bet.
him take the opportunity, especially when it makes sense to chump block. And he even gets to play a creature here, which is another one. And he gets Aerostorm back and shows it to him. So
Wow.
he has now left Finkel completely without a board state and with one card in hand that he knows.
It's
He knows the
Rider.
Snowhorn Rider.
Doesn't do anything to 1,000 wins or Aerostorm.
Yeah, now Jon drew Burnaway, which can take care of 1,000 wins, but he's
It's a nice
still
top deck.
No, he's alive. Yeah, he would be at 1. Really nice top deck, actually. Wow, that could actually be huge here, because then he could end up facing having a Snowhorn Rider versus a Warden of the Eye. You gotta like that. You gotta like Jon's side of that particular equation. So this could get interesting here.
All right, attack with everything. Jon is obliged. No, Jon's still dead. Yeah, Jon's dead because of the Aerostorm.
Right, the
Because the
Aerostorm
Aerostorm
kills
is
him
Ben's
no
hand.
matter what, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he can kill the 1,000
Right.
wins.
Yes.
But then, like, even if he chump blocked, he'd still die to Aerostorm.
Yeah, Aerostorm kills him no matter what. So, and Jon knew about it. He saw Ben bring it back from his graveyard with the Warden, and that's going to do it. So,
Really well played game by Ben Starr.
I really like that.
It's
Yeah.
almost like he got into the Hall of Fame for how good he is at Magic or something.
Let's jump over to Andrew Cuneo and
speaking of
Randy
good at
Davis.
Magic.
No kidding.
Cuneo already up a game.
Oh no! Looks like Randy's got the combo assembled down there. Look at that. Molting snakeskin on the on the Bloodfire expert. Yeah. Who needs toughness? Got
And there's a Ruthless
regeneration.
Ripper on the other side, too, that he can regenerate from the Death Touch.
God.
Can't even block with Ruthless Ripper. Pod 1 has gotten crazy, by the way. I saw a giant cluster of guys around the standings before this round started, and then the 4 players who won their first round all decided to intentional draw with each other.
They've all drawn with each other.
Yeah, Craig Wesco drew with Josh Utter-Layton. Chris Fidel drew with Timothy Wu.
Okay.
And I believe their plan is to draw with each other again next round. getting to 38 points. So effectively getting to 12, 1, and 2. Now, by my math, the other 4 players on pod 1 are going to generate 239. Oh, they're going to generate 139. Yeah, I think their plan might work, but it's... Yeah, I think their plan works. For a while, I was afraid they had drawn themselves into 6, 7, 8, 9. But there's only going to be 1 player from pod 1. The 4 remaining players from pod 1 are 33s currently.
Okay.
The winners will be 36. We'll play each other to create 139. The winner of pod 2 is a 39. The winner of pod 3 is a 39. The winner of pod 4 is a 39. So that's 4 players who can leapfrog them and get to 39 points. And they decided we don't need to care about the 37 pointers. The 12, 2, 1s, not relevant.
Because they're all going to be on 38 anyway.
Because they can get to 38. So with back-to-back intentional draws, the 4 of those guys look like they're going to claim 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Must be nice. Draw at a GP? Not every day you get to do that. Meanwhile, what is going on here? Andrew, you cannot lose to the Bloodfire Expert molting snakeskin.
I think you might.
It does look like it's not looking great for him. Although on only 4 mana there, Randy's really been able to come up with a game out of this mess. Only 4 lands. Wow, this attack is bold.
He's just turning them sideways.
Yeah, I mean, he's only got 4 mana to work with. If he wants to regenerate his Bloodfire Expert, I mean, it doesn't leave him much mana to do anything else. His morphs aren't, you know, how does that morph flip up and beat a Alabaster Kieran? I don't think it does.
It's interesting that, I mean, the Alabaster Kieran blocked the morph instead of blocking the Skull Hunter. That is mildly surprising to me.
How come?
Well, the morph might flip.
But it can't. He's only got 4 mana. Like, the worst case is either a Ripper or Canyon Lurkers, and that's a trade anyway.
I mean, it can flip the trade.
Right, and then if it flips the trade, though, then he trades for the Bloodfire Expert anyway. Oh, and the blowout was Sidisi's bad.
That makes more sense.
What is going on here? All right. Oh, Trumpet Blast. Okay, he just wants to trade up a couple of things. This will be effective in the sense, like, now the Skull Hunter is going to trade for the pet. He's going to take 4 damage. The Alabaster Kieran is going to trade with the morph, but it's not really a great scenario there for Randy Davis.
He lost his combo.
Yeah, combo down.
Expert Molting Snakeskin. He didn't have the regeneration mana.
No.
After he spent 3 on the Trumpet Blast.
No, Andrew Cuneo just he refuses to lose to that. He's not having it.
Yeah, I don't know what the life totals are, but suddenly we're down to just the 1 morph.
Yeah, that sequence did not turn out great for Randy.
And Andrew got a little bit of lifelink off Sidisi's pet too. So.
All right, well, let's jump back over to our main match, which is already underway here, with a pair of Wetland Sandbars for Ben Stark, really looking to be the aggressor. You could see how much role reversal he had to do in that first game when he went block, block, block. You know, it looks like he's really the one who's trying to get out ahead. And Finkel, 1 step slower with a morph here, but it's Finkel's turn right now, and I do believe that Ben may have missed a land drop in this sequence here too.
Yeah, the turn 3 Sandbar came with no 3rd land.
Jon's going to attack with his morph and 4 mana up. It's got to be tempting for Ben just to block.
I agree, tempting. Kind of depends on your hand, but I mean, when you're stuck on 2 mana,
I think he's going to get
4.
I think a bear may be awoken here.
Oh.
Run over the Sandbar. Take 4 damage.
It also means Jon spending his turn not developing his board, but just trading his Giant Growth for your Sandbar. It's not the end of the world here.
No, and I think that's kind of what Ben's thought was. I don't think he necessarily thought that it would survive.
And Jon does have Awaken the Bear and chose not to use it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, fine, let's trade. Let me get another creature down.
Yeah, I think he would have preferred Ben says sure take 2, but...
Yeah, that's what happened. I mean, sometimes you feel like, oh, if I block, I'm going to get blown out, but just making them spend their mana on their trick is often valuable.
No, we see how Ben Stark was able to keep that 2-lander. He went creature, creature, creature anyway.
Kind of interesting. We're going to have a cool feature match next round. It's going to be 4 win-and-ins.
We're going to have 4 win-and-ins?
We're going to have 4 win-and-ins. We're going to have 4 people who take a second draw to clinch, and we're going to have 4 pairs who are playing for a spot.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And are those coming from different pods?
Pod 1, Pod 2, Pod 3, Pod 4.
Sweet. That's great.
Yeah, the winner of...
Oh, I'm excited for that.
The winner of Pod 2, the winner of Pod 3, the winner of Pod 4, and the lone 2-1 player from Pod 1.
Right, because the other
four
people
guys
above him have
the
drawn
4
it.
1-0s are like, we're going for the 102. This should work. Only 4 of you can leapfrog us if we double draw. And they're right. Only 4 people can leapfrog them, so it should all work. That's Wesco, Fennell, Utter, Leighton, Wu. Not a bad start. To
Wow,
the top
that's
8.
ridiculous. All right, so Ben Stark has the old good news, bad news. He has drawn his 3rd land, but it enters battlefield tapped, so he's got to take another turn off here.
He's able to keep trading, though.
He is, but the interesting
Sandbar can
part
trade
here,
with Aspirant.
he kind of wants it to, but it's a little awkward because Ben's also got...
Does he get a War Shrieker?
Yeah, and he doesn't have the land for it. I think if offered the trade, he probably would just have to take it, but Finkel does nothing.
Attack?
No, does nothing, just ships it back.
And Ben did not draw a land. He drew a blue spell, maybe a crippling... Oh, no, he drew 1,000 lands. I think.
John's just going to take it. And there's 1,000 Winds face down. So this is going to bring low here. John had plans. Oh, it wasn't 1,000 Winds. That was Free Weapon Master, yeah. And here's a morph for Jon Finkel.
Ben continues to scuffle on lands, but he's been able to make plays.
He really has. And he's got another one this turn, too.
Right. I mean, it's not awesome. This is like turn 6 Leaping Master or whatever turn we're on.
Right.
But it's not nothing. Like, he's able to kind of block and trade. He's actually ahead on the damage race.
He is, interestingly. And a couple lands away from at least one. I can see at least one Aerostorm.
War Name, right? Now,
yes.
Now that Awaken the Bear that John Slow rolled a while ago looks pretty good.
Yeah, the coast is clear for it as well, as Ben doesn't have any relevant mana available.
It's even blocking with a 1 toughness creature.
Indeed. Get that extra damage in.
Rawr.
Take 5?
And the morph. Take 7.
Take 7. Ouch. But John misses his land drop, and that was his turn again. So we are seeing the tempo plays kind of go back and forth, and poor Ben Stark finds another tap land off the top here. I mean, again, he's happy to see a land, but unless he has relevant plays, which actually he does. He's got a morph at least with that 1,000 Winds. Yeah. He's trying to figure out if he can actually race for the win here, or if he needs to leave that sandbar back to block the Aspirant.
Really?
Ben Stark is very aggressive. He passes the turn, he's going to Crippling Chill.
All right.
It just doesn't really work quite the way that Ben would love it to. You know, it's not like John's going to flip up his morph pre-combat or something, so he's just going to have to keep the War Name Aspirant at bay, but this also gets him a draw step. Did he draw? Oh, it's on the stack still.
I think it's on the stack, yeah.
Because John actually drew Temur Charm.
Huh.
So he could counter this. Wow. I guess you have to upkeep it.
Crazy.
Wow, that's actually going to work. Counter it. Yeah. Hit you for 5. Oh, and another War Name Aspirant. Jeez.
Wow.
All right, well, that sequence just about put the nails in the coffin for Ben Stark here. He's drawn, I believe, his 3rd copy of Aerostorm in hand, and they're just going to remain stranded there for the most part. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. These 2 creatures can block and trade up here, so this actually isn't too bad for Ben, even though he is at a relatively low life total of 7.
What's the morph, though, right?
What's the morph?
He's got Loxodon mana. He's shown us both Loxodon and Snowhorn Rider.
Yeah, I don't think that... I mean,
Or
Ben
you
just
have
has
to
to
just
block
block
with
the 2 War
Aspirants.
Names, right?
Yeah, just block, and hope. I mean, he's not going to die. Like, I don't think
Right,
there's
even
no
if
morphs
it's
with
Loxodon, it drops
7.
into 1.
Yeah, but I mean, he will not be happy with that result.
You just have to block the Aspirants, right?
He can think about putting the 3/3 in front of the morph.
Forcing a flip.
And forcing a flip.
I think if I only take 2 from that morph this turn, I'm happy.
That does seem desirable.
I don't want to take 3 from War Name. I'd rather... So, I mean, some of the value of forcing the flip is making John spend his mana that way.
Right.
I feel like John's probably spending his mana that way anyway.
Right, so you're not actually getting a whole lot out of it, but Ben is deep in the tank here.
There's a chance it's a morph that it isn't a big morph. We just haven't seen.
Yeah, could be another Sagu Archer, right?
Right.
In which case, it's pretty awkward for John. Because he has to spend
bounce.
his whole mana just to bounce them off of each other. And in that case, Ben would get to keep his War Shrieker. I mean,
Wow.
the thing about Ben is that he needs to
Is that
take
morph
extra
not blocking?
risk. The
He's gonna
morph
take
is
6
not
down to
blocking.
1?
He is going to go to 1. I think he's just going to die here.
Only if Jon has a trick.
I thought he did. Oh no, I guess he doesn't. It is the biggest, woolliest of Loxodons.
And now Ben can hit for 4 and Aerostorm.
And
if he
Aerostorm,
draws
but
red
he
mana.
needs a land.
Red mana?
He has red mana. He just needed the land. He's going to show him the
Wow.
Aerostorm.
Ben
And
Stark,
Ben Stark
ladies and
beats
gentlemen.
Jon Finkel.
Wow, that was well played.
Yes, and he knew it. He knew every step of that way. He knew exactly what he needed to happen to make it work. Now, he had to get there, right? Things
Yeah.
had to go right. But
No, he was basically playing, I want to make Jon tap all his mana.
Yes.
And then I have to top deck a land.
An untapped
for this.
land.
Wow. Great line from Ben Stark.
I
he
love that
played
line.
to have an untapped land on top of his deck, and he got there.
right.
How did he win that game?
That was insane. He was
He had
so far behind.
His play was like turn 6 wetland sandbar off 2 lands.
It was. And he was facing down multiple warning aspirants that had the counter on them. I mean, his opponent was flipping up 6/7s. and it was like, hit you with my morph and my 2/1. That was the play.
What are we watching now?
This looks like, that's Cuneo on the left.
Is this the Cuneo? Oh,
Yeah.
Randy Davis still won that game. We left. It looked like Andrew might have stabilized the board
Wow.
at a relatively low life
I
total,
wonder,
but I
if,
guess
I wonder if Andrew is at low life.
he must have been pretty low. I guess, but Randy was clearly able to push through the win there.
And here's Randy just
Here is
comboing
game
off
3.
again. He's got the molting snake skin again.
So the winner of this match plays the winner of Joseph Martins versus David Foster in a win and in.
This is weird.
Molting Snake Skin on Watcher of the
Well,
Wrist.
that is weird, but the Savage Punch on the Smoke Teller is targeting it, eliciting a regeneration and probably showing that something bad is
Blast.
going to happen, and it's Dune Blast.
Yeah.
But Andrew can't be happy with that. I guess if his creature was going to die anyway, he's only losing the Savage Punch in that transaction, but Savage Punch is a good card.
He had to get the regeneration mana down. I think
Yeah.
he's at 1. Look at the life totals. Okay, there we go.
But he
15's very
just
different
knew
from
that
1.
thing was going to kill him and that the Dune Blast didn't do anything against it. All right, nice follow-up here from Randy Davis. But Andrew had been planning that Dune Blast for a while, so
Sure.
the question is, what's
Smoking
his
Snakeskin
focal?
actually good in this match? Is that possible? I do occasionally see people run them.
I do too. It wasn't last game. I mean, he basically got 2 for 1 with it. I don't know about this game. I mean, it did put Andrew in an awkward spot there.
Yeah,
Ultimately, it didn't get the job done, but
traded with a Savage Punch.
it did. Yeah, traded with a Savage Punch. It's not bad. But here's the big follow-up play from Cuneo, and somehow, what is happening? Randy has 4 lands again. Look at Cuneo's side.
He looks like he might have a. Do we have deck lists? I mean, maybe he's only playing 17.
Yeah, here
Maybe
you
he's
go.
playing 16.
Here's this one. Here's Randy Davis. He's
I mean,
on
he's got, like, a
5-2,
trashy little
6-2.
black-red beatdown
That's
deck, right?
15. He's got 18 lands.
Okay.
Just running the full 18, and meanwhile, Andrew Cuneo is sitting over there with 9 mana sources.
That doesn't say Randy Davis. I think we have the wrong Davis.
Oh. John Davis.
Wrong Davis.
All right. Not a big deal. But we do not know if he's on 18 lands now. That is for sure.
He is on the Abzan Falconer. That card's pretty good.
I like that one. He did have to level it up this turn so that it can tussle with the Abomination at some point. Cuneo's just going to battle here for 5, though, while the shields are down. And he's going to get a loot. Feels really good when you start looting with that card and start ditching those unneeded lands. And there's a Tuskguard Captain.
Wow. Andrew seems like he's in good shape this
I mean,
game.
he looks like he
15
was.
life.
Yeah, he was planning that Dune Blast from a while out, and had a ridiculous plan. I mean, look at this situation. He had 1 creature 2 turns ago. Now he's got 4, including 2 very scary, ominous-looking morphs. And he's going to be ahead on the damage race soon.
Raider Spoils.
Raider Spoils. That's not going to do much here.
Uh-uh.
Ping you. So Davis falls down
So Falconer's now
16.
what? 3/4?
3/4 flyer, yeah.
With the Raider spoils?
Yeah, it's a 4/4.
Right. So it can eat an Abomination of Gadul now.
That's correct. That is true. Though I wonder if that even matters at this point. Maybe
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Andrew's...
not quite to that stage, but it's like
It feels like he's one
close.
trick away from just blowing out Randy's position.
Yeah, it does
here.
feel like that. He's leaning really hard on that Falconer. Also, those two morphs could easily just be bigger than it.
Uh-huh.
No, one of them's bigger than it.
Yeah. Attack with that one morph.
Yeah.
You can't block here, can
You
you?
just can never block here. I mean, Randy's
Not
at
on 16,
16.
yeah. No way. Like, all right, what are you hitting me with?
Witness
Hitting you with a 4/4.
the ages. Yeah. Could have been a lot worse than that for Randy.
Right.
And get a level up going. I'll pass the turn
That was
back.
a totally different mechanic.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, not level up. I
Totally
shouldn't say
different
that.
mechanic.
How about an outlast going?
Smite the Monstrous in Randy's hand?
Yeah. Only one target for it. Mardu Hateblade. And somehow, some way, he's still on 4 lands. Like, it's actually just a miracle he's still in this. Andrew's been
like
looting and playing lands.
No ability to take up any arms. No arms have been taken up.
Andrew's going to cash
get
in a
there.
Sultai banner here.
Right. He's like,
I mean, that's where
he's
he's
Dune
at.
blasted, dumped his hand, sacked his banner. Randy still hasn't gotten to 5.
Right. Cuneo drew a Pine Walker. Not going to play it.
I'm not going to attack into Hateblade either. Makes
Why
sense.
would Davis draw a land? I mean, that's not possible. So he gets to still operate on a crimped 4 mana. He did find a Chief of the Scale. TikTok says the Archer's Parapet. And Randy passes a turn back. Cuneo's lining up for something nasty. Well, there's another
It's just
potentially
Randy's holding
2.
up Smite the Monstrous instead of playing a Chief.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
I mean, there's a couple targets now. And
Yeah.
he's going to attack with both of them.
Yeah, just take down that.
He's still with only 4
Good
land,
boy.
though. He can't Smite and activate the Death Touch on the Hateblade.
Oh, that's awkward.
I mean, both those creatures can trade with the Falconer. Yeah, so all he's got is the Smite. He's probably going to have to take 4 from the other one. I mean, you could trade Falconer for it? It seems kind of...
So if he double blocks, he
awful.
trades Falconer, but then loses the ability to block anything else. Yeah, he just has to take it. This is not great,
single
though.
block's good enough with the Raider spoils, but
Oh,
still,
right. Forgot about that. Thank you.
still not a great block.
But still not good. And
Yeah,
there's that
Cuneo
Pine
just
Walker.
Keeps playing stuff. I mean, he's in a weird way, he's flooded relative to Davis's spell count,
It's
but I mean,
true.
he's been using all his lands to do stuff, so.
Randy Davis
How about
does
fifth
find that
land?
5th land and then just says go.
Archer's Parapet chipping away.
Yeah, that hit of 4 is a big deal with that
Yeah.
Parapet. Hooting Mandrills. Cuneo just has it all.
What a crazy weird game.
Yeah, this is a weird game. Strange that Randy's still in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Andrew slow played for that Doom Blast a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, maybe he could have just punished the Mana Screw by dumping his hand and not playing around for the Doom Blast. I don't know, though. Here's Take Up Arms. Here's Take Up Arms.
Okay.
So it's a bunch of 2/1s thanks to the Raider spoils.
Is this the part where Andrew
Again,
starts
though,
to get a little
no
worried?
Death Touch on the Hateblade.
Oh, again, you're right. He can't take the hit from Witness. Not without cracking back and winning immediately on the next turn, which is a tall order here.
Right. Andrew's got what, 3 blockers?
So I guess he just puts 2 warriors in front of the witness, and maybe just one
One in
warrior.
front of the morph?
Yeah, just
It's not bad.
make him flip it.
I think 2 warriors in front of the witness has to be right.
Yeah. Yeah, that Raider Spoils is actually doing good work
Yeah,
here.
and 1 in front of the morph also seems correct. Save the Hate Blade and the Falconer.
Yeah, that Hate Blade needs to trade up later. I mean, Davis is hanging on by a thread here.
Yeah.
I mean, if Andrew had found just removal or something with any of those last few draw steps, he's found spells, but nothing to get that Falconer out of the way, then it would have just been like crunch.
Right. So looking at possibly chump blocking the witness. Still doesn't have enough to crack back, interestingly. Right, is that 3rd creature in play actually valuable? It's 3 blockers on Andrew's side.
I wonder if he's trying to think about winning the game, you know, like,
Well, yeah.
oh,
No,
I
mean,
just don't know if that's within reach, at least not that line.
Alright, and this was Pine Walker.
That's the Pine Father
So
gets flipped up.
eats the warrior and creates another blocker in case of any rush of battle, trumpet blast shenanigans.
Yeah, that's bad. It's all just bad news here for Davis. He's sitting at 11-2, but he's up against
Didn't take any damage that turn.
Longtime
That's good
player.
news, right?
it is
Oh, by the way, Hootie
theoretically good news.
Mandrels. All right. I've got 5 creatures. Maybe it's Barrage of Boulders into Trumpet Blast. Does that get there?
Like if he goes land, barrage, trumpet
Yeah.
blast.
I don't think that's still not enough,
it's
is
not
it?
15.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like 12. No, it's 15. It's exactly 15.
Is it really?
No, it's 14. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's 14.
Well, his land was tapped anyway. He did have both of those cards in hand.
Does
Look
he have
at
both?
that.
I saw the
Yeah,
Barrage. I
he
didn't know the
does.
Trumpet Blast.
Yeah, it's right behind it, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 14.
Oh man. And
And
there's
the
a
Falconer
chief.
gives him the Monstrous, or gives him the Ferocious.
But I think that we're going to see Cuneo just crunch here. I mean, there's no white mana up for Davis, so there's no kill shot opportunity here. And Cuneo has him down to a virtual 4 thanks to the parapet. Can't he just jam with the squad here?
I mean, every 4-power creature must be blocked.
Must be blocked no matter what.
So yes, you want to force those blocks. Because you're only losing to Barrage of Boulders at this point. Like Barrage of Boulders, Trumpet Blast.
Right, so you need to basically use your creatures to make him
You know, force the
as
trades
removal.
now.
Yeah.
Because having blockers isn't going to help if it's Barrage. Yeah, the 2
Yeah, there we
Everybody.
go. That's how you do it.
Abomination gets in there. Yeah, that seems right.
I think Cuneo might have like a kill shot in hand too, just for the insurance.
Nice. Yeah, Randy he can only take 1 creature hit. He can and even survive to the turn.
Right.
Hateblade can finally trade, but
Yeah, the
None of this helps him win
Mandrels
the game.
having trample is going to be an issue here too.
it seems like Randy's played this game pretty well.
Yeah, I mean he has
Came
hung in there the
close,
best as possible.
Untapped land last turn, I think he could have gotten Andrew to 1.
I mean when your
Yeah,
Watcher
there's
of the
nothing.
Roost molting
knows the
snakeskin
gig
plan
is up.
falls through.
Yeah, and Andrew's kind of shaking his head, knowing that, almost apologizing. Yeah,
I mean, it was absurd how many land drops he missed, right? Like,
Yes.
we come into that game and Andrew's resolving Dune Blast and his opponent's stuck on 4 for the next 4 turns.
Right.
Like, after that.
All right, so Andrew Cuneo wins that match.
Yeah, now, so where does that put him in the hunt as far as top 8?
He will be in the feature match area next round.
Is
Playing
one of
a
our
win
winning
in.
ins?
There will be
Okay.
4 win-ins in the feature match area next round. One of them will be Andrew Cuneo versus the winner of David Foster versus Joseph Martins. So that will be the 5th guy to get in from Pod 1. Will be the winner of that match.